How many amazing underwater photos are sitting on your hard drive right now? What if this was the year when I finally get the recognition they deserve? Well, that's what DPG Masters is all about, celebrating the very best in underwater imaging. And this year we've made it even bigger. 2 new categories to give more shooters the chance to shine, and over $85,000 worth of prizes. I'm Nicolas Remy, chair of the jury of DPG Masters and founder of the Underwater Club. In this video, I'll walk you through the key things you need to know about this year's contest, how it works, what's new, and how to give your entries the best chance to stand out. So let's talk about why you should enter DPG Masters 2025 and the 5 things that make this competition truly special. First, being recognized in DPG Masters is one of the most prestigious accolades you could earn as an underwater shooter. The contest has been running for 19 years and it's become one of the most respected competitions in our field. Last year, we received over 2,000 entries from around the world. Second, DPG Masters has the largest prize pool in any underwater imaging competition. Thanks to our amazing sponsors, we have more than $85,000 worth of dive trips, resort stays, and amazing imaging equipment. Third, even if your entry doesn't win, you'll still get something valuable out of it. Every entrant receives feedback on how far their entries progressed through the judging rounds. That lets you see how close you were to win and which entries have the strongest competition potential, so it's a valuable learning opportunity as well. Number 4, your work will be judged by a team of very experienced photographers from around the world who will use their expertise to pick the most deserving entries. The team includes Jennifer Hayes, Jill Heinherf, Kate Jonker, Aaron Wong, Alvaro Herrero, also known as Mekan, and myself. And finally, 6 of our winners will receive a mentor prize. It's a private 1-hour video chat with one of the judges. It's a unique chance to get your portfolio reviewed and personal advice from some of the most accomplished photographers in our industry. Now, before you start choosing which photos to enter, there is something really important to cover. What kind of images we are looking for, and what can make a photo ineligible to enter. DPG Masters celebrates underwater photography that's true to nature and captured ethically. So let's briefly talk about our contest ethos and the key rules that you should know. You really must read the complete rules before submitting, but let me highlight a few key points so you know what to expect. Let's start with marine life welfare. We don't award images that show visible wildlife harassment, and we tend to mark down any photo where we strongly suspect the subject was being harassed. Live baiting is strictly forbidden. That said, we allow images where some sort of baiting or feeding took place, as long as the bait was not alive and the use of baiting was clearly disclosed in the captions. The reason is simple. While we prefer naturally occurring scenes, some of the most impactful underwater images are only possible through the use of bait, which can be done in most cases responsibly. Remember, our judges are all experienced underwater photographers. There's a good chance they will recognize the species and the location, and if that's the case, they will know whether baiting was used or not. So it's always better to tell us upfront, use the captions for that. We have one category where editing is strictly limited. It's called traditional. No backscatter removal, no cropping, and only global adjustments. It's a tradition that dates back to the early years of the competition, and it rewards photographers who truly nailed it in camera. In all other categories, with one exception I'll tell you about shortly, typical underwater photography editing is allowed, but there are some limits. For example, backscatter removal is capped at maximum 30 spots. That might sound strict, but you don't need a crystal clear background to make a great underwater photo. Those floating particles, they are part of the real underwater world. 30 spots is plenty to clean all the main distractions, provided you've done a good job at positioning your strobes. Again, all the detailed guidelines are in the rules, so make sure you give them a read before submitting. Now let's talk about what's new for 2025. We've added 2 new categories that open the door for even more photographers. First, the cold water category. This celebrates photos taken in waters colder than 65 degrees Fahrenheit, about 18 degrees Celsius. We want to see the beauty of temperate reefs and cold water species. Kelp forests, sponge gardens, icebergs, sea lions, giant cuttlefish, and all sorts of marine life that thrive in these colder waters. Shooting in cold water can be tricky with lower visibility, but that's exactly why this category exists, to give more chance to these sort of images to shine. Second, the unrestricted category. Remember what I said before about rewarding first and foremost in-water skills? Well, this category is the exception. It's designed for those special images that needed more post-processing than what's allowed elsewhere. Here, you're free to remove as much backscatter as you want, tidy up distractions such as divers, fish or bubbles, or even combine multiple exposures. The only rule that remains is you cannot add something that was not in the original photos. Replacing distractions with water is fine, inventing a fish or diver is not. Let's now look at how the judging process works and what happens after you submitted your images. The judging takes place in 4 rounds. Round 1. The Dive Photo Guide staff will review all images to create a shortlist based on aesthetic and technical merits. If an image is out of focus, poorly exposed, or breaks a rule like it doesn't fit the right category, or there's a visible watermark, it won't pass. If we receive a number of very similar shots, we also tend to push only the strongest 1 or 2 to the next round. Round 2 is when we bring in our jury. Each judge will receive all the shortlisted entries and will select in each category their top favorite 20 images and then rank them. Higher ranks earn more points, and when we combine everyone's scores together, the top scoring images will move forward as semi-finalists. In round 3, the jury will look at all the semi-finalists. They will rank them again according to their preferences in each category, and the combination of those rankings will produce 10 finalists per category. Round 3 will be followed by raw files verifications. All finalists must submit their raw files so we can confirm the integrity of the images, and any photo that doesn't comply with the rules will be disqualified at this stage. Once the raw checks are complete, we're entering round 4, which is when all the judges will get together online to select 4 to 6 winners per category. They will also select the overall winner, this year's DPG Grand Master. Finally, I'd like to share a few tips to help you decide which images to submit. First, take a look at previous DPG Masters winners on the competition website. It will give you a sense of the standard of images that typically get awarded. But don't try to replicate a past winner. It is fine to take inspiration from a past winner, but we really value novelty. Second, pick images that fit their category, but also think about how they will stand out within these categories. Ask yourself, how many similar shots might we see this year? If you're entering a very common subject, like a clownfish or a turtle, it needs a little something more to stand out. A unusual technique, a sense of character, a special behavior, or a very lovely negative space. We don't have portrait or behavior categories in DPG Masters, so any image that captures either or both of these qualities will stand out even more. Third, write a useful caption. Tell us what you photographed, where and why. If you captured a special behavior or had a specific artistic intent, tell us. That context can help your image stand out during judging. Fourth, don't leave it to the last minute. Give yourself time to review your shortlist after a good night's sleep. Maybe ask a fellow photographer for feedback on your strongest shots. Sometimes an external pair of eyes can make all the difference. Finally, read and follow the rules. Every year some great images get disqualified for simple things such as not entering the right category or pushing the editing just a little bit too far that wasn't really necessary. And I would hate to see that happen to you. If you'd like more help preparing for competitions, visit the Underwater Club's website. On the events page, you will find a full 2-hour webinar called Selecting Photos for Competitions. It's packed with examples and practical advice to help you select the right shots for the right categories in the right competitions. That's it for this briefing. On behalf of myself and the jury, it's an honor to review your work, and we can't wait to see the amazing images that you will submit to DPG Masters 2025. Best of luck, and again, don't wait the last minute to submit. We're accepting entries until the 1st of December 2025. Visit underwatercompetition.com to enter. The link is in the description below as well.